If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Luke 14:26. Religion has been an enormous multiplier of tribal suspicion and hatred. Christopher Hitchens. Christianity and hatred. Now, I would like to preface this by saying that I know there are a lot of good, kind, caring, and loving Christians in the world. I knew plenty of them growing up, but I also knew plenty of unkind and hateful Christians too. In this video, I am not saying that all Christians are hateful. I'm just saying that the religion itself is both used as a tool for and a source of hatred, and is unrivaled in this by all religions, save Islam, in the West. So, Christianity thrives on hatred, and hatred thrives on Christianity. It's a symbiotic relationship, a cyclical relationship where they both feed into each other. Hatred inherent in Christianity pulls certain people into certain sects of Christianity, and they then fan the flames of that hatred, making the person and the sect more religious and more filled with hate. I'll use two examples to illustrate my point. My examples are the ultra-conservative Christian nationalist white supremacy group known as Christian Identity, and the equally conservative Christian nationalist hate group, the Westboro Baptist Church. They both use hatred as a means to spread their virulent forms of religion. In the case of the Christian Identity movement, their brand of hatred is racial. They are essentially a white supremacy group that uses their specific interpretation of the Bible as a way to justify their hatred of anyone who they deem as an inferior race. They think that Adam was the first white man and that European whites are the lost tribes of Israel, among other insane and crazy things. The thing is, most of them started out as hateful racists, most likely indoctrinated into those beliefs by their parents, and then used biblical interpretations to justify and legitimize that hatred. They took their existing hatred and wove it into the fabric of their religion. And that's a problem for the religion. The fact that they could so easily take their hatred and insert it into Christianity shows just how susceptible the religion is to weaponization. You can hold any belief imaginable, turn to the Bible, interpret it through the lenses of your hatred, and find divine justification for it. It is a faulty system that is ripe for and rife with abuse. If something can be used to justify literally anything imaginable, it shouldn't be used to justify anything at all. The fact is, though, Christianity is inherently hateful too. This brings me to my second point, the Westboro Baptist Church. The Westboro Baptist Church is well known for picketing soldiers' funerals with signs that say "God hates fags" and "Thank God for dead soldiers." Their particular brand of hatred is based primarily on sexual orientation. This, instead of being an example of external hatred being woven into the religion, as in the case of the Christian Identity movement, is the reverse. It is internal hatred manifesting from the religion itself. It is a case where the religious text, in no uncertain terms, condones and codifies hatred. It is a case where, upon a clear reading, the Bible directly inspires hatred. And if you don't believe me, just read the Old Testament. Leviticus 18:22 and 20:13 say in very clear language that homosexuality is an abomination worthy of death, and the story of Sodom and Gomorrah implies that homosexuality is one of the reasons that the cities were destroyed. And the New Testament is almost as bad. There are multiple verses in Paul's writings where homosexuality is listed among immoral acts like slave trading and murder. It is clear that the Bible is a book that endorses and encourages some forms of hatred. So in reality, the Westboro Baptist Church is on sound biblical footing when they say that God hates fags. They are just extreme in their delivery of that message. Some people will criticize me for focusing on only two extremes with these examples, but it illustrates how if the extremists can do it, so can the moderates. They just do it in a more subtle or unconscious manner. Adam was the first white man turns into white Jesus and other subtly racist themes, and God hates fags turns into love the sinner, hate the sin. It may be less explicit and less extreme, but it is still hate, and it's still caused or reinforced by Christianity. So, since Christianity can so easily become a tool for or source of hatred, it only makes sense that it is not inspired by an all-loving God, and that we should do away with the whole enterprise altogether. If, say, a corporation was inspiring this much hatred, it would be boycotted into oblivion by any decent group of people. It would still have its holdouts and supporters, but they wouldn't be enough to keep the corporation afloat. They would be the hateful final few against the compassionate, loving many. The corporation would drown in its own hatred, as should Christianity. So, for those of you Christians who love much more than you hate, you should abandon, if not all supernatural beliefs, at least Christianity, and join the side that doesn't insist on adhering to ancient holy books and hate-inspiring traditions. As for those of us who have already abandoned this religion, we need to be showing the world how good we can be, how kind, caring, and compassionate we are without their nonsense. As I've said before, we non-believers need to be a shining city on a hill for people to aspire to. We need to show them the way out of hate and into love. Now, as a little end note to prepare for the incoming comments, I know that the bad deeds of Christianity do not say anything about the truth or falsehood of its claims, and neither do its good deeds. I'm actually working on a video to that effect right now. But I know that nothing I've said here disproves the God hypothesis or even Christianity specifically. This video is just to highlight the fact that Christianity, a supposed religion of love, is one of the greatest wellsprings of hatred left in the world today, and that despite the very, very slim chance that it might be the one true religion, we should probably just abandon it to the ruin that it deserves.